Right then guys, the video I should never have had to make, but there we go. So, to kick us all off, I'll show you what the problem was, why it wouldn't start, or as far as if you watched my live, you'll see that we had a diesel leak. Now, this is the fuel rail. Can anybody see what the problem is? That one's a bit squished and all. And strangely enough, so's that one, but in the opposite direction. So, before we put this back in, we replaced all the rubber O-rings. And as the metal snapped, it's pierced through the rubber, and that's why it's leaked. So, these ends here pull out like so, but you can't buy them ends on your own unless you buy them second hand, and the chances are that if it's a second hand one, that this will be alright but those won't be. So the brother-in-law, bless him, bought a new one. Just making sure that there's no address on this before I swing it round. No, there ain't. And the other thing is, it took some getting. There's only 3 in the entire country. And that's one of them. So, it's now fitted in. It's this part right at the back here. So, to get that out, EGR valve had to come off so we could take the inlet manifold off, so we could then take the glow plug wiring loom out the way because it runs down the back here, and also this lot fastens onto the intake manifold. But although we've not actually started, the one thing we have done, we put the battery on and we turn the ignition on because there is an electric pump that drags diesel up from the tank, and when it was leaking, it was as soon as that pump was activated, so that's how bad it was leaking. So again, we've just put it on, flick the ignition on to see whether anything's leaking out, and it appears to be fine. Now what we're reckoning is the reason why they snapped is A, old age, B, at the end where they snapped, that's where the most heat from the engine will have been, so over years they will have weakened. So, and we'd literally, after the video, it was, we stripped all that lot back as far as we did in the space of an hour and 10 minutes. So yeah, radiator to go back on, then there's the AC radiator and the intercooler, and connect all that lot up and then see where we're at. Right, you see how the glow plug light is flashing? That tells me that one of the plugs is on backwards. So we'll go and see. Right, we've been having more fun. I tried the 6 wires that go to 5 injectors, one's an earth, and the plug at the end, I'll try and rest it there a minute. Yeah, this plug at the end, because this is a spare wiring loom, it had come unfastened, and whenever we tried putting the plug that fastened onto this lot inside was spinning. But you've got to put that on after so it squeezes the oil seal. Don't know how much of that you saw, but yeah, so we managed to get it. I've had to take the inlet manifold back off to get the rocker cover off so I could get that to sit right. and we'd still got the glow plug relay light flashing away, so we knew there was something up. So we've just been over all those connections again, and we've clicked, and the crank angle sensor wasn't clipped in properly. So although once we clipped it in, we've still got the engine to put back together, but we had it kind of firing and the light's gone off the dash. So I guess once we get everything back in play, it'll run properly.
Oh my god.
Well, as you can see, I've got a stunt hand model to do certain nuts up. There's not a lot of space at all, but at least the manifold's going back in, the rocker cover's back on, and as you can see, we've basically got that much of a gap to squeeze his arms down. So his arms are a bit red raw. Right, so hopefully this will be the last part of this van, because you don't need to see me put all plastics on later, or Marcus, my brother-in-law, doing it. So let's give it a whirl. Happy film, babe. That'll do, Pidge, that'll do. Hey, see you later.